Hello friends, this is Vineet Pandey, and in today's video lecture we're going to talk about most important thing. Guys, do you know what is Creole, what is peasant, what is register, what is cliche, idiolect? Guys, this is very important thing that all these questions have been asked in previous net papers. So the most important thing that you're gonna remember today is the topic actually related to teaching of English, where English, how it is used in native India, how it has been taken as a language coming from foreign country, and what are the techniques, procedure, how we teach them, what are the ways of learning, and how it affects our language. Well, where 90% plus India is actually talking and conscious about pronunciation. Like many of you judge people on the name of pronunciation. When you go to school and colleges and you try to speak English, but others, those who cannot speak English even, they just judge you on your pronunciation. Like sometimes they say his pronunciation is not good, what kind of English teacher he is. आइला, ऐसा होता है क्या दोस्तों? ऐसा होता है, आपको pronunciation पे जज किया जाता है. क्या आपने कभी सोचा है कि English आना is different thing और pronunciation एक अलग चीज है? Have you ever thought the same thing, that pronunciation is a different thing and knowing English language, grammar, content is very different thing? I must tell you, all the students, all the learners, and if you are a teacher, professor, English speaker, if you ever been humiliated on the concept of pronunciation, the very first thing is, if somebody comes to you saying that you do not have the exact pronunciation, tell them that yes, I don't have, because I'm using my ethnic voice tone. Yes, remember, if a Chinese speaks Punjabi, there are certain words he won't be able to pronounce. If a South Indian speaks Kashmiri, there will be some gap. If a German speaks Punjabi, there will be some gap. So in short, we have various different areas, and in our DNA, in our the body structure, we have different vocal cords. Our vocal cords are different. So even if you mug up, like many of you will say, no, we have seen people with accent. I'll tell you this thing, that 90% people, those who follow accent in India, are actually playing with certain imitated thing. They themselves have no idea about the accent. It's just that they keep watching Hollywood movies and they start imitation. And dosto, what I believe is that it's imitation should not be there. Like, why to imitate? You speak their language, that's a quality. For example, you are playing with your kid, and you're playing with your kid or your younger brother or sister, and you're making the noise bow 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 bow, so you're imitating the dog. That's okay, like you're trying to do it. But do you want to show the teeth and that anger of the gesture with the claws being completely a dog? No, why to go for that? एक कहावत है हिंदी में, there is a proverb in Hindi, कौवा चला हंस की चाल और अपनी चाल भी भूल गया. The crow tried to be the swan and he even forgot how he was like a crow. So in short, instead of imitating, following others, value yourself, value your knowledge, your pronunciation, and go for your native and natural accent, natural speaking. So here we're going to talk about those important things. The very first thing is the word cliche, C-L-I-C-H-E, cliche. Well, what's the word cliche? Cliche are actually those words who are repeatedly used in any context, in any discourse, and actually lose their meanings. For example, in Delhi, Bangalore, and the big cities, metro cities, people, those who are modern people with modern generation and ideologies, those who are watching Hollywood movies, when I came from the small town to Delhi, using the word F was very something very different for me. I would find people saying word F and I would become very uncomfortable. Why that? So I'm sure you must be understanding what I'm talking about, the word, the F, abusive word starting with F. Then we started being comfortable. Okay, well, I do not use that word because that's not in my culture. But if you are using the word and you're calling F off or something like that, then it doesn't mean the vulgar thing. It has actually become the part of that social circumstances. It doesn't have the direct meaning. We can also make it very easy. You have a friend and he slaps you and then says sorry, and you'll be like, okay. He slaps you again and he said sorry. You'll be like, okay. And he slapped you again. Every time he slaps you, he says sorry. After 10 slaps, what will be the value of the word sorry? You'll be like, don't say this, you don't even mean it. So cliche is repeated use of the word which loses the meaning, right? Second thing, register? Question of 2012 June. Register is a particular set of language, a code of language. We have language, and our language is divided in multiple codes. So like code language is the way you talk to your mother. So when you talk to your mother, you are a bit comfortable. You talk to your father, there is some kind of censorship. Then you talk to your best friend, you are totally free, talking anything with slangs and all. You are talking to a teacher, you're talking to the market people, office walas and all. So every person you come across and you talk, there is always a set pattern, set code. Like many of us, we use slang language. We keep talking in slangs. We have some, very different talking style. But you talk to your relatives and your parents, you do not speak the slang words, certain abusive words and all. So why that censor all of a sudden comes and starts censoring your word? It is actually called register. So the register is that in a particular set of class, like I'm on a video recording, I'm talking to my student, my words, my language, my gesture is actually controlled, selected. It's very selective phraseology that I'm using. So that's a register. So the discourse between two people which develops on the language, that particular language, is called register. Then we talk about peasant. A lot of people will call it pidgin, pidgin. Well, pidgin and pidgin is British and American accent. It's actually a language spoken by two different people. Their first language should be different. Means if there are two guys, they want to have a business settlement, and suppose one is a Kashmiri boy and another is a Keralite boy. Suppose the Keralite doesn't know Kashmiri and the Kashmiri doesn't know Malayalam. So how they gonna talk? They will have to switch to a common language. And that's what in India, English is doing. English is being used. English in India is used as pidgin, which helps the people to communicate. But remember the most important clause, that all the two people who are talking in English, English should be their second language. Means Kashmiri should have his first language as Kashmiri, and Malayali person should have his first language as Malayali. So in short, the second language which is used to create a communication is called pidgin. Now the question comes that what is Creole? Guys, first thing, there are 1500 plus registered Creole in the world. There is no technical mechanism of Creole. You cannot make it. You can just understand, you can just find out. So Creole is actually uncontrolled mixture of language. All the languages mixed together forms a new language that is called Creole. So let's take an example. If you are a kid of some army personnel, or your father is actually being transferred on regular basis from state to state, the first theory of language acquisition is that if you are learning a language, there should not be any barrier from 0 to 8 years. Yes, this thing, it is very important, and the part of teaching English plus Stephen Gresham's language acquisition theory, also called natural order hypothesis. If you are learning a language from 0 to 8 years, there should be no change, no interruption. So it's your mother language. But if you are troubled in your mother language and it is switched, suppose you are the kid of some army personnel, some person who is regularly being transferred. Now suppose, let's take an example, that you are taken to a hostel. You are in a hostel, and suppose you are from Kerala, you speak just Malayali, but you are in a hostel, and actually the hostel is for all the kids who have come from various states. So let's assume that in India we have 22 registered languages, the main languages, right, in the 8th schedule. So remember this, 22 people speaking 22 different languages, and they are staying in a hostel. They do not have any pidgin, any common language. Malayali doesn't speak Kashmiri or Hindi. A Hindi person doesn't know Kashmiri Malayali. Bengali doesn't know Punjabi or Gujarati. They're all together. So what will be the environment of that hostel? Complete silence. They won't be talking to each other because the language gives the emotions, fooding habits and everything. Or these kids, and remember I'm using the example of kids because we do not need any scientific mechanism. So kids, or they will play in the evening. Suppose they want to play cricket. What will they do? 22 people with 22 different languages. They will go to play cricket because they will use symbolic gestures. Somebody will pick the bat, somebody ball, and then they will have gestures devised. The team will be divided. But remember, again, they do not have the proper language to communicate. So what will happen here? A Malayali person hits the shot and the ball goes in the air, and a Punjabi shouts, And when maybe in Punjabi you say, oh, fad enu, chakle, fadale, something kind of that. So a Gujarati is running, Gujarati doesn't know what did he say, but he also understands that ball is in the air, I'm supposed to catch it. The person, whatever he spoke in Punjabi means catch it. And then he catched it, and some Rajasthani guy or somebody, you know, started celebrating, jumping with their own language. So gradually, playing 1 day, 2 day, 3rd day, 1 month, they will develop a common language used in cricket. They will understand the accent, they will understand hip hip hurray, they will understand oh balle balle, and gradually they will develop a language of their own discovered in that particular ground and field. That's called cliche. That's called Creole. So guys, what happens here, like in Delhi, in metro cities, people, they come from all areas, they mix up, they speak Punjabi, Haryanvi, mixed language. In our words, English, they have English words has, you know, become a part of it. So we are repeatedly using these things, and technically the modern languages of the metropolitan cities are actually cliche. I'm so sorry. I don't want to cut this video. So it's actually Creole. You know, the words are very same. Okay, the concept is when you want to say something else and you say something else, what is that? It's pre-conscious. Tip of the tongue, it's slip of the tongue actually. So this is the word Creole. Now question comes, what is that dialect? Guys, dialect is actually a part of language which is spoken in a very small area in comparison of language. So you know that language is actually taken to the big patch of land. Dialect is taken to the small patch of land. In certain cases, dialect doesn't have its own grammatical structure. It's simply the kind of diversion in certain pronunciation and certain new words and coinage words. Now, the important thing is, what is idiolect? So idiolect is actually language of someone's own. So I was reading some WhatsApp group, and somebody wrote that what is idiolect? Then somebody said your own language. So do you have your own language? Like I speak Hindi, my friends, they also speak Hindi. Then how can I say that I have my own language? It's a common language. Idiolect, friends, is just not the use of the words. It's use of gestures, sound structure, intonation, body structure, and the way you communicate. So idiolect is like when I record video, I have a habit of using my hands like this, doing like this again and again. And when I have some strong point, I raise my voice, I emphasize those words, and I put pressure. So that's my individual language structure, which is called idiolect. So hope you understand these things in the video lecture. If you find it beneficial, you can WhatsApp me, help me, or you know what, how to help me? Just come with your toughest questions, ask me the queries, let us know. One of you has given me some new topics. Even I was not knowing the particular topic. The student was a research scholar from Oxford, so I really appreciated the person who has talked about the word food porn. So very soon I'll be uploading a video on that. And all the students who are gonna watch it right now, good luck for the exam. Do your best and enjoy these words, because these words are repeatedly asked in NET exam. Contact me by WhatsApping or call 85870 35827, and good luck. Bye bye.